today.
844, live shop in the Century Plaza Hotel and Spa on Burrard Street. Darryl's back. We're going to get the 101 on cider. Welcome back to BT.
Well, always a pleasure. Thanks for having me back.
The pleasure is all mine.
I know you're a big cider fan. In fact, a lot of British Columbians are. Cider is the fastest growing category in the market. People have really adopted this, and the really cool thing is we're really curious about the product. So back in the day when cider came in 2-liter jugs and that was pretty much all we had, long gone. Now we've got ciders from all over the world. There's all kinds of different styles. We make unbelievable cider here in British Columbia, and we drink some of the best cider in the world.
All right, let's have a wee sip, shall we?
All right, so of course we got to go back to one of our founding nations, Britain, British dry style. That's the style most of us grew up on. This is Lone Tree. This is produced in Kelowna, and the one thing I really love about it is this is now the #1 cider in British Columbia. We're the only province in the whole country where a craft, locally made item is the #1 cider. How cool is that? Like, nobody's really drinking those big brand ciders anymore. They're going to their local stores and they're asking for authentic dry cider from Kelowna.
How would you describe what that tastes like? I don't have the language for
Just
it.
your classic, clean, apple, bright. One of the things that's really important, I think one of the things that's driving it is this is 100% apple juice. And a lot of the big brand ciders aren't even actually ciders. When you think about what a cider actually is, think about essentially a wine. You have to take 100% apple juice and ferment it. Not necessarily here, though. You can mix it with different items, soda water, different things. So make sure your can says cider and not alcoholic beverage, or maybe apple flavored cider. Make sure it's 100% cider, and if you can, make sure it's British Columbian.
I bought something I thought was a cider once, and it tasted like a Kool-Aid.
Yeah, well,
powder.
they basically are. So cider can be made with apples or pears. So you have to have orchard fruit. This is left field Perry. Pear ciders are referred to as Perrys. This is two sisters that grew up in Mamet Lake on an orchard, and one day they decided, let's get in the business of cider making. Right out of left field, it's one of our best sellers. They use the traditional 500 ml bottle, 100% BC pear juice.
I drink this one quite often because it's available at one of the boutique liquor stores in my area, my neighborhood in Ladner, and I love the bottle.
Yeah, that great classic bottle and the really clean pear cider. Your pear cider should be nice and dry. It shouldn't taste like the canned pear. How good is that? I mean, that's
it's very similar to the Lone Tree, except a pear flavor.
But really dry. And that's the thing that's very important. Now, of course, because we're looking at these great ciders and really cool cider products, we're going back to kind of the old countries, and we're looking at the indigenous styles there. The north of France, they can't grow grapes there, but they're still French. So they have really brought that je ne sais quoi to their cider making. This is the Christian Drouin Blanche de Normandy. This is Normandy ciders. All Canadians should go to Normandy anyway, but when you're there, make sure you check out the local ciders. This is Calvados, one of the most famous spirits on the planet, but this is the base. This is the cider. You can still it out and make Calvados, but this is one of our hottest selling items at the store right now. Totally different. This is the French farmhouse funky style.
Funky is a good word. Mm-hmm. This is not like the other ones we just tried.
More like wine. You get these great, rich flavors, caramel, toffee.
Caramel. Yeah. It does. It tastes like caramel.
Yeah, it's just so well done because it's barrel-aged. These are treated like great wines. I was a little nervous when I brought this product into Legacy because I didn't know if people would pay $20 for a bottle of cider.
No. Well, the bottle itself looks very intimidating, but $20, you can manage that perhaps for, something a little bit different. Treat it like a bottle of
wine. Like Lone Tree is great for barbecues, hanging out. Drouin, something you want to have with your Sunday dinner.
We've only got a few seconds left, so let's take a sip of this one. And can you please tell us about gluten-free and non-gluten-free ciders?
So one of the things that's important is not all ciders are gluten-free. Sometimes they do put wheat-based products into it to fill it out. So make sure the product, if you're a celiac or you just want to cut gluten out of your diet, make sure it's gluten-free. This is the weirdest cider we have at Legacy. This is Basque wild yeast slurry. In the north region of Spain, they just push the apples outside and let Mother Nature take its course. Big, rich, you pour the bottle in this huge, elaborate kind of display. San Sebastian's a food capital, and this cider is unlike anything I've ever had.
That sounds positively medieval. I love it. Thank you so much for joining us. Cider 101, BT continues after this. Of course, we'll have a look at your weather forecast with Russ Lacade.